trying different products. Order now the full range and get the shower gel thrown in free, valued at £10. That's not all. Order now and get the whole range for $49.95, valued at £65. Order now online at www.goodhairshow.com or call 0208 533 6608 and place your order today.
You're welcome back.
Most definitely, that was all the information about a Good Hair Show. And Mr. and Mrs. Ife are here. I would like to say a very big thank you to them. But is there a number that you'd like to introduce?
Yes, if you want to come to the show, it would be good for you to give us a call on 0208 533 6608 for us to be able to know what time you'll be able to come, because it starts from 4 o'clock and ends 8 o'clock. And we have a roll-on, roll-off program every hour. Okay, so that we know whether you want to come to the 4 o'clock one, or 5 o'clock one, or 6 or 7 or 8. Okay, so if you want to come, the number is there on the screen, or you can always call Praise. Her number will come on the screen, and then she will also take your details and guide you from there as well. Thank you for watching.
And thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for being on the show.
Okay, so we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much.
Okay, keep up the good looks.
Thank you.
The glamorous looks. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
Exclusive event hire services, adding class to your events. We offer a one-stop service to all our clients. Our team is formed of the best of the event industry. It would be our pleasure to put our extensive experience and expertise to work for you. We manage and plan weddings, birthdays, christenings, anniversaries, celebration, parties, team building events, and many more. Today for a quotation on 0207 064 9929 or 07540 254 342 or 07956 821 246, or visit us on our website at www.eehireservices.co.uk.
Someone in me that
Well, we've just seen a video of Calvin Gudu there. Now, Calvin, I was just talking about this with Auntie Praise. It's really weird. I haven't spoken to Calvin for months. And then we decided to put his video on today. And just before, earlier on, Calvin calls. How weird is that? But anyway, that's how God sometimes does things, isn't it?
Indeed, and I just wanted to say, talking about videos, that we're getting some good new videos coming in.
Yes.
We just stay tuned, and we'll be bringing that to you not today, but over time. And just in case you're an artist out there that you sent us some videos and you haven't seen them yet, just be patient. We've only got
The time is
limited time to show things,
frame.
but we will show them, and we do appreciate you for sending in your good and quality videos into us
Most
to air out
definitely.
for you.
Most
Very soon we
definitely.
will be charging.
And if you have a video,
We'll be charging. Is it charge? No, I'm just joking.
if you have a video out there, well, if you want to bless the ministry, that's fine. We won't stop you from doing that.
No, no.
So Auntie Praise, you just thrown me off.
I know.
Man. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. We have here in the studio with us. That was very nice. We have here in the studio with us this afternoon a young man.
Now you tell me that's not been rolling on your mind, because you haven't been able to move on from the statement that I just made, Uncle Charles. I've just said something that it's okay, and
it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's
all
fine.
right, yeah.
Our guest for today,
Yes, our guest for today. Right?
young man,
Very young man, listening
Enthusiastic.
in London. You may have seen him on Britain's Got Talent. He was singing in a group called Incognito, and they were doing some stuff with their voices, unbelievable. I think Simon Cowell himself was kind of blown away. But before we introduce him, let's just watch this video.
Okay, right. Plan for today. We do some warm up.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you Shad Stone. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
you're welcome. I was just thrown up there by what I just saw.
What you just saw, you wanted us to show a bit more
It
of
was
that,
quite
but
colourful and
very colourful,
beautiful.
wasn't it?
And you got on Britain's Got Talent. What was that experience?
That experience was very interesting.
Okay.
One thing that I will say is that what you see on TV is not what you see, if that makes
Okay.
any sense. I mean, there's a lot of things that takes place behind the scenes.
Like in the studio, and then what you'll be seeing at home.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's not that bad here, is it?
no,
Okay,
it's
good,
fine.
good.
Well,
Okay.
welcome to the show.
Did you go out there as a gospel choir or just a contemporary
We went out there.
or secular choir? So.
Yeah, we went out there as a gospel choir.
Okay.
I mean, there was some conversation about them trying to get us to do other things, but you know,
We just stuck to your gun.
Yeah, we stuck to our guns. I mean, we wouldn't, if we were called, maybe if we were called something different, then fine. But the fact that we were called gospel singers incognito, then to go and do something else would have been a little bit of a.
Tell me about this. Was it your
Controversy.
choir that when you came on? Because I think I saw that. You know, some people were standing up and they did something, and then Simon was kind of.
Yeah, we came.
What's
out
going on?
Yeah, we came out in the pews. That
Yeah.
was quite. That was. We did a flash mob because one thing that we've done before we actually came on Britain's Got Talent is that we've done some flash mob stuff before in like supermarkets. We've even done one in Nando's for somebody's birthday. It was quite funny that day. They were actually quite surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, we just thought that because of the fact that people who knew us before Britain's Got Talent knew us for some flash mob stuff that we've done. We thought that we'll just take that. Onto
Opportunity.
live television, so
Right.
we came up in the pews, and Simon Cowell and the rest of the
Were they blown away?
they
Simon was
were
blown away.
shocked. Simon
Yeah,
was
you
not
should have seen that
expecting.
show.
Simon
It
wasn't
was-
actually
yeah, I saw that.
expecting.
Wow.
He wasn't expecting what he saw.
Wow.
And the compliments were good, saying
Fantastic.
that he hasn't seen this kind of choir like unless he's in like America and stuff like that. So it was good. It was good. It was a good experience.
Okay.
And now you've gone solo.
Yes, because we're not going to spend the rest of the show talking about X Factor, are we?
They're not paying us to do that.
So,
Yes, I mean, as a soloist, I mean, I've done quite a few backing vocals for a few artists that are already out there. Jazz Ellington, who was on The Voice. I've done work from Wembley Arena, working with other artists as well. So it's been quite a journey. But as a soloist, a friend of mine actually helped and pushed me. She heard that I had a little bit of potential with my voice, so she was like, you should go for it. And I featured in a competition called Male Gospel Voice of the Year, which is done by a guy called Paul Hammond. He put it together and had to go through a couple of stages, and I got to the final, and I made it as a finalist, top 2. So since then, I've always thought, you know what, I might as well use, this is a gifting that God has given me. I've never actually sang before that, so I thought, you know what, if I'm going to use this talent,
No,
so
you
to
mean you
speak.
have never sang on your own?
Yeah, I never sang on my own, so
Right,
to speak.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I should use that to the glory of God and use that to glorify.
So have you, through your time in being in the choir, you never saw yourself going out to being on your own as a soloist?
The thing is, the choir was a recent thing.
Okay.
The choir has been in the last 2 years.
Okay.
But as a soloist,
As a solo artist.
As a solo artist, I remember starting singing, or shall I say, the vision to sing came from the competition. But I never really done anything from there. And I think that since then, I think the courage kind of started building up from just singing with the choirs and stuff like that, developing myself, and now I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here.
So where did Shad Stone start from?
Shad Stone started, I mean, initially when I first started, everybody knows me as Nana K.
DJ Nana K.
I mean, when I started DJing, you know me.
You sent me start the show DJ Nana K.
No, I mean,
actually on this, you know, never mind.
Yeah, in church, that's what they call me, and
Okay.
people know me for like the fact that I used to DJ and stuff like that. I mean, I still DJ from time to time.
Okay.
And I will be DJing at some events, so
Okay.
you know, look out for that. But yeah, so basically, Shad Stone, Shadrach is the name that my mum gave me. Obviously, it's, for me, for what I understand Shadrach to be, is one of the 3 Hebrew boys. So you know, the idea that their faith was so strong in the fiery
stood
furnace
out.
that God's delivered them through that fiery situation. So I just thought, you know what, let me embrace that name and take the name Shadrach and use it for my artistry. Stone. It's an interesting one.
Stone's not your actual name.
No, Stone is
It's a
actually
stage
not mine.
name?
Yeah, it's a
Alright,
state. It's
okay.
part of the artistry. It's not my real name. Basically, the vision of Shad Stone is just that from Deuteronomy, when God gave
Moses
the 10 Commandments, that he put it in stone. He didn't put it in the sand, or he didn't put it in any other material, because you know, he wanted there to be substance, wanted there for people to remember the message that he'd given to Moses. So my whole thing with the artistry is Shadrach's message in stone, so that people don't forget my message, don't forget my story. It's more like a testimonial name, so to speak. Yeah.
So it's nothing to do with you being hard and strong and, you know, I can't be broken.
I mean, I can be broken. The Holy Spirit knows how
I'm
to
just
do that thing.
okay. Because somebody hears the word stone, you think it's just a hard guy, you know.
Let's check out Shadrach's other video as well. Let's hear his voice. got Shad Stone there doing his own version of How Great Is Our
Yes,
God.
our God.
That's a powerful worship song, isn't it?
Yes.
And to praise, you almost burst into some worship here, but we just kept a lid on the spirit, just bursting out. But anyway, all right.
She could get me to cough if I say something like that.
When she goes quiet, I just have to move on. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
so I don't throw you off what you just said.
Here you are, Shad Stone. And I actually saw you, a few times I've seen you at different events minister with Lyrical Soldier. And so I take it you guys are very sort of like brothers. And you ministered at his event at the Regents Hall as well a couple of years back.
Lyrical is family. He's a cousin of mine, and he's been a big part of the journey. He's been a big part of why I'm actually in church. I remember when I was outside of church.
It's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
You got a testimony?
When I was outside of church,
Yeah.
I remember he started a Bible study in college.
Okay.
And I was that guy. So if there is a God, then why is it that innocent people die and all of this kind of stuff? But he never gave up on me. He was always on my back, always ensuring, always making sure that, checking up on me, always, he wouldn't throw the Bible at me per se, but, teach me from time to time. Yeah, he was real.
Listen.
Then I was a radio DJ for a company called Black Chat. And there was a slot that I needed to fill, so I called upon Lyrical and I asked him, do you know what, is it possible for you to bring this Bible study that you have onto the show?
Okay.
And for me, I didn't want to play devil's advocate, so I just thought to myself, do you know what, because I'm the engineer, I'll just agree with everything they say when the callers call through, put them through and everything else, but I still was in a little bit of a difficult position with believing. But then with all of these callers coming through and everything else, I used to say to myself, there must be some truth in this thing, because everybody seems to
be able to key into what's going on.
Yeah, everybody seems to know the same scriptures, everybody seems to know the same story, everyone kind of has a testimony. So I thought to myself, no, there must be some truth in this. And Lyrical invited me to his church, and he invited me to something that they call camp meeting, that our church does, where it's all the churches that come together. And that was the turning point.
Oftentimes, you're obviously, I can say confidently that you're a young person, because obviously, if you look at me here,
It's Uncle Charles, and I'm praised. So.
But, you often hear a lot of negative stuff going on about young people, this, young people, that. From your perspective, have we got it all wrong? And is there, do we have a group of young people out there who can still make a difference?
There is. The thing is, I'm a strong believer of the fact that our generation has the DNA for our generation. Not saying that the older generation can't do anything for our generation, because they definitely can. There's wisdom, there's experience and everything else. But our generation, all it is just a lack of education. Our generation...
We're not talking formal education.
No, not formal education, just life education. There's a lot of broken homes, broken families and stuff like that, and the youth are not really getting that education, not really getting that counsel from the elders that they want. And I think it might just be because of the fact that the churches don't make the environment conducive enough for the youth to be free with their with what it is that they're going through.
If I was to ask you to prescribe what would make an environment conducive for a young person, if you were a young person who wasn't saved and wanted to get into the things of God, give me two things that you'd look out for.
An adult who was real with their Christian walk, because some adults in church like to make it out like they are holier than thou, and that they don't have no issues with their Christian walk. But the reality is, we all have issues, we all have our problems. So it's about sharing experience with the youngsters, so that they know that they're not the only one in that position, or they're not the only one that has been through it, so that there's counsel where, there is an option, there is a way out, there are things that you can do, there is help available to you. Also, I think it's the whole, we can't help it because of our human nature, but it's this spirit of judgment in our church. Like, people feel like they can't say certain things because it's just like the forbidden thing to talk about. Like, for example, if a female was to walk into church and her stomach is out, the most obvious thing is that she's gone and got herself pregnant, but that doesn't mean that the act before pregnancy isn't taking place in the church. And it's one of those ones we don't like to talk about things like that in church, but it needs to be spoken about. So these issues, it's just about relaying real issues in our church so that, you know, the youth can feel a way that, you know, there's a place where they can speak and be real about their Christianity.
Okay. It's quite interesting you've come from that perspective. I think I've often said that I think it's a kind of like a cultural thing, wherein the generation of our parents were treated in a different way. They were not encouraged to speak out. They were not encouraged to talk about issues.
And some things were seen as taboos.
And some things were seen as taboos.
Yeah, which is true.
And therefore, they have now come to a place where the generation after them wants them to speak. So it's a little bit of a strayed from on their part. You want me to speak, but I was not brought up speaking. I remember my mum, you know, oftentimes when I was growing up, she would say to me, "You ask too many questions." I never used to ask so many questions, my mum. But it means that it's not just that they were not able to ask questions, but I don't think that they were given the information that was needed to equip them to be able to even pass on information down to their own children. So it's something for all of us to learn, you know, from our parents' generation to our generation, that we need to bridge a gap. Because the young people are crying out for help, but they want people that can talk to them. It's a communication thing. They want people that can be real. And when you talk about being real, it's saying, do you know what, there are times when I don't feel like coming to church, but I put my clothes on and I force myself to go, and that's what you need to do. Do you understand? It's not like, what are you doing, not staying at home, blah, blah, blah. And it just, you know, it's just something that we need to know how to break down information to our younger people. But you know,
your music... about your new single, He Cares For You. Well, that's a single, but it's on an EP.
Yeah.
And you're launching that
on the 24th.
24th. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it and tell us how we can get there and tickets and everything else?
On the 24th of November, which is also my mum's birthday. Is it coincidence?
And my brother's birthday as well.
Is it your brother's birthday as well? Everyone should come out and enjoy.
Why not? He's in Sierra Leone, they're not here. But go ahead, talk to us.
Yeah, basically it's a night of live music. Everything's going to be live. It's a night of inspiration, a night of worship, a night of introduction. We've made it very close net, so there's only 200 tickets, only because of the fact that I wanted to make it a very personal, intimate kind of environment. I want people to get to know me as an artist rather than for people to come and get a show, so to speak. I want it to be very interactive, not just with me, but with the other artists that are featuring. And it's just an introduction about my journey. The EP, He Cares For You, it starts off with the title track, He Cares For You. Then the next track is Save Me, which is basically, you know, a lot of people that used to say to me that, you know, God cares for you. You know what I'm saying? In everything that you're going